What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon. MLB DFS video. It is Thursday. It is August 10th, and we are back bringing you, hopefully, a full slate breakdown to your liking. If there are certain things you want to see in these videos, let me know. Always looking to improve, but these videos are pretty long, pretty informative. People have been saying they like them. You can go back and check the other videos and see that people are really enjoying it. So if you've never been here before, welcome. What we do is we break down all of the pitching, and then we break down all of the bats that are in play against the pitching. So we'll look at that. We'll look at their just their metrics, the batting metrics on top of pitching. We can look at their former game logs. We can look at BVP if you want. We can look at their records at home and stuff like that. We're going to go over the ballparks. We're going to look at the weather in the ballparks. We're going to look at the ballpark factors to kind of see which fields to target, maybe home runs as well. I'm going to show you our prop bets that we have on the website. If you've never been there before, go to FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, hit FTA Plus. You can check this out, $24.99 for a month. Gives you a full month. That's MLB, MMA, NASCAR, PGA, and NFL. Once we get there, we're not really going to do preseason NFL just because that is an absolute crapshoot of even attempting to put a lineup together. I know people are going to be very eager to play, and I would suggest kind of going slowly into it just to see, because the main players are probably going to play maybe a series, and that's pretty much it. But we're going to go through everything, and I wanted to bring that to your attention. Another thing is, if you go to FTA Plus and you use the promo code NFLVIP for the yearly package, normally $199, you can get $100 off for $99 for an entire year of every sport that we offer. That being said, in the description of this video is today's article if you want to see a little bit of better breakdown than what we've got. I do ask, if you do check those out, the more views on the website, the more ad revenue that we can get to bring you these videos. Because a lot of this is based on ad revenue, and then FTA Plus if you guys are inclined to that. And people have actually donated into our CashApp down below as a tip. That is awesome as well. Anytime our video gets 50 likes or more, and you leave a comment, and you're a subscriber, your name, the video will get thrown in here, and you have a chance to win a free. If it's 50 likes, you'll have a chance to win a free week. If we get 100 likes, chance to win a free month. If we get 125 likes, a chance to win a free year. And if we get 150 likes on any video, you have a chance to win a lifetime pass worth $4.99. So it's super simple, super easy. We do these every single day. My suggestion is to get your bell notification on and get your comment in there as early in the morning as you can, or the night before. So in case we have to film this a little bit earlier than normal, you have a chance to get in there. So that's what I wanted to say. So we are going to choose and see who the winner is from yesterday's video. So good luck to everyone that left a comment, and let's see who the winner is. And congratulations to Mamba. Bacon, 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 bacon. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to give away some bacon. We're trying to make bacon here as well. So congratulations, Mamba. All I need you to do is like this video, tell me you saw it, and then either email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com, or you can hit us up on Twitter @advisors_team. We will set you up with a username and password if you don't already have one on the website. And that's the difference, guys. You can come back every single day, like the video, leave a comment, and you have a chance to win every single day. We have had multiple winners, is what the awesome thing is. So today's slate. Oh, another question. Would you guys be interested? So I'm going to do this in every video, but I'm going to be putting in possibly a DraftKings and Fanduel weekly league for our website, and like a $5 entry, however many people we have, top 3 win money. We'll have it every single week. So if you're interested in that, let me know down below as well. And I've been wondering about if you guys would be interested in some merch. I don't have any idea what it would be. Something like bringing home the bacon, or something like that with our logo on it, or something, just to help the channel out to grow as well. And also, we're starting to get some pretty good reach on these videos. A lot of numbers are coming through. If anyone wants to be a sponsor of any of the videos, if you have anything you would like to sponsor a video or an article, hit us up, dfshelp1@gmail.com, and we will kind of discuss some details and see if you want to move forward with that. We've had it in the past. We just haven't had it in a few months. So that being said, we have an 8-game slate. 4 of them are early, like super early. I don't know why this is 11:35 Central, but that's what we've got. We're going to dig into everything here. So that being said, let's check out Hunter Brown. Only faced the Orioles 6 plate appearances, so not much going on. But let's look at Hunter Brown here. See what we've got cooking with him. See if he's anything to do with anything here. Facing the Orioles, they're a really good team. We've seen these teams go back and forth. We saw on Tuesday night where thought the Orioles were going to pull through. They had one of the best relievers in the game, and then Kyle Tucker hit a go-ahead grand slam, and they ended up winning by 1, which is nuts. So these games have been really good, just not if you're targeting the starting pitching, and that's kind of what we're going to look at here. Looking at this, Hunter Brown, he's only faced him 6 times. Dean Kramer's faced 42. Houston bats, 225 batting average out of him. So we look at Brown. You can see he's on the road. He's 5-3 on the road, 3.65 ERA with 76 strikeouts there. Depending on some of these numbers, you can kind of see his recent games. He faced the Yankees. He started that game 6 innings, 2 earned runs, gave up 2 home runs at Yankee Stadium, which isn't unheard of. They won 7-3. Game before that, he faced the Rays. They ended up winning 17-4. Went 6 innings there, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 home run there, 4K. So you're looking right around. You're going to get about 6 innings out of him, most likely, unless he gets lit up. He's there's not much there. So we can kind of just look at, like we said, his splits here. Looking at his splits, 4.66 at home, 3.65 on the road, so he is better on the road. He started more games on the road and still has a better ERA there. Then we look at his BVP just to see if there's anything that we like. Nothing there. And most people don't like BVP, and I completely get that. So depending, overall 8-7 record, 4.07 ERA total, 130 strikeouts, 1.29 WHIP. It is the Orioles. They're playing some really good ball right now. It's very... You want to take these pitchers in these games, and this is a really weird slate because you got 4 early games, and then you have 4 main games at night. So you got to get creative. It's going to be, for me, it's probably only going to be a GPP type night or a tournament night where you got 4 games early, 4 games late. There's not a ton. It's not the best slate. I will say that. I will suggest, I know you guys won't, but may suggest not playing today. But we know that's not an option because we're all addicted. We completely understand that if you don't admit that you're addicted to DFS, you're probably just lying to yourself because we all are. But we'll go with it. So looking at this, Dean Kramer overall, 10-4 on the year, 4.61 ERA, 115 strikeouts, 133 WHIP there. He is pitching at home, which not the best at home. Home, 5.35 ERA. So Dean Kramer's actually better on the road at 3.7 ERA there. 5-2 record both on the road and at home. He has more, almost double the amount of earned runs at home. He's given up more home runs at home, more walks at home, and only 3 strikeouts more at home. So, like I said, this is just a ballpark where I think I want to focus on looking at the bats in this one and not looking at pitching. So let's take a look and dig into the numbers of the Orioles and the Astros against right-handed pitching. And you can find this on the website. This is under MLB and MLB batter splits. You can find it right on the website. Go check it out. The more views the website gets, it helps me tremendously. So that's what I wanted to bring up. So looking at this, we're going to look at the right-handed pitching. We're going to look at both Baltimore and Houston. So we're going to apply it, and we're going to look at the bats that we like here. So Kyle Tucker, I think he's going to be all over. 273 average. We saw him just hit a massive grand slam on Tuesday against one of the better right-handed pitchers in the game. Now he has a better matchup against Dean Kramer. I like that. He's got a great average. OBP's 361. OPS is 829. Isolated power is a little bit down, but I feel like Kyle Tucker's going to get a $300 million contract whenever negotiations happen. and he's a really good player. I love him in this matchup here. Diaz, 303 batting average against righties. I don't mind him if he's in. 590 slugging, 907 OPS, 287 isolated power. Pretty good right there. Jose Abreu, I'd probably avoid. He's got so I'll admit right now, we can be wrong at these. I'm not telling you yes or no. I'm not saying you got to take this person, don't take this person. I'm giving you insight into my thought process when building lineups. We're not always right. We're not Vegas Dave, who doesn't miss, who is 1,000-0 in all of the things he does in life while being 3'4", pudgy little angry man. We are wrong sometimes. So this is my thought process, building out the cheat sheets, building out the bacon station, building out the stats, and how to go about building your lineups. So I wanted to bring that attention. Mountcastle, I know he's got a ton of orange here, but I just really like him. He's doing pretty good right now. He would be one that I'd be focusing on. Jordan, obviously, you've got a ton of green. You want to see a ton of green here. That's exactly what we see. Green, 270 average, green OBP, green slugging, almost 1,000 OPS, and isolated power against righties at 321. Don't be surprised if he hits a home run here. Weighted on bases, also green at 417. So a ton to like there. I actually do like Gunnar Henderson as well. He's got a little bit of green in here where it counts. He's got some isolated power there. I do like that. Chas McCormick a little bit. I don't mind here. I think this will be one of the games that I want to target, like just batting wise completely. I'd probably avoid Pena. I'd probably avoid Maldonado. It's just not good. Bregman. I don't mind Bregman. Adley. I love me some Adley here. Would not be surprised if he goes yard as well. Bring it down a little bit. I would look also into Ryan O'Hearn, and I would look into Anthony Santander as well. So that's the kind of my thought process in game number 1 between these two teams. So moving to the next game, you got the Braves at the Pirates. You got Bryce Elder versus Bailey Falter. We've seen in this series the Pirates they're keeping track. They're putting up runs early on these starters. Even Spencer Strider, Elder has not looked good lately, and we're going to dig into those numbers here. We're going to look at them and see if there's anything that sticks out to us as to why we don't like him. Still has a respectable 3.43 ERA. On the road, 4-2 record, 3.41 ERA. So basically, he's almost the same pitcher home and away. So we can look at that. 4-1 at home, 4-1 or 4-2 on the road, 3.44 at home, 3.41 on the road. So slightly better on the road. 2 less starts though. Less earned runs. Still gives up some home runs there. More walks on the road and less strikeouts on the road. So the problem is we look at his game logs here. We look at these. We see the Cubs 4.1 innings, 7 runs, 5 of them earned. Then against Milwaukee, 7 innings, 1 earned run, 3 strikeouts. The problem is he's not getting a ton of strikeouts in these games. And I mean that because, obviously you're paying for a pitcher in DFS. Strikeouts are premium. You need those because you need more fantasy points. He's not getting a ton of strikeouts. He hasn't thrown more than 3 strikeouts since July 18th. So been 3 weeks. It's been 4 starts since then. Well, this will be his 4th start since then. Really just depends. Trying to see if he's faced the Pirates. No, 2 plate appearances. That's it. On the flip side of that, Bailey Falter. I believe this will be his 2nd start. I want to say he just got called up last week. Or he just started last week. Let's see. No, he's in there. No, he did get called up. So he was sent down. He got called up. He hasn't pitched. He pitched 1 time since May 15th. In that game against Milwaukee, 4 innings, 1 earned run. Problem is, we're probably not getting more than 4 innings out of him. And this is a really good Braves team. We know this. We absolutely know that this is a fantastic Braves team. They're batting like 280 combined as a team, which is absolutely nuts. I probably wouldn't take pitchers in this one, but the problem is with 4 games, you got to find pitching somewhere. And if you're playing this is why I really don't like. I might completely avoid DFS altogether today and just sports bet. But you guys are here for DFS. Let's look into the numbers a little bit. So let's look at the Pirates bats against right-handed pitching, see if anyone jumps out to anything that we're looking at. And they've been pretty good lately. They've been okay. Connor Joe's been doing some things with the bat, home runs there, so I don't mind him. Jack Sawinski a little bit. Kind of, not the best batting average, but he got green OBP, slugging, OPS, and isolated power. I don't mind. Obviously, Carlos Santana is no longer on the team. Brian Reynolds here, not too bad. Kutch, I don't mind Andrew McCutchen there. 388 OBP, pretty green there, one of the highest OBPs of the day. So you could look at that, and you could look at maybe Cabrian Hayes as well. But I'm probably, and it's obviously shouldn't be a shock, probably looking at the Atlanta bats against Bailey Falter and lefties. And then, obviously, you can kind of see how they do against righties as well, because it's probably going to be, 4 innings and then a bullpen game. So, just off if we're going off lefties here, Acuna, amazing numbers, 325 average, 427 OBP, 1,000 OPS. Sean Murphy's got some good numbers there as well, a 328 batting average there. Ozzie Albies batting almost 400 against lefties there, so he's a big number. Austin Riley, I don't mind. Matt Olson, only batting 240 there, but he's absolutely on fire. I don't see how you don't use a little bit of Matt Olson, especially if you're stacking this game. Michael Harris, lefty-on-lefty matchup, I get that. I don't mind that. Marcell Ozuna against a lefty, do not be surprised if he hits a home run as well. So I am all in on looking at that. And let's just, for instance, we're not going to do this for everybody, but we're going to see, Bailey Falter goes out early, then it's a righty. Success against righties. Sean Murphy still has respectable green there. Matt Olson's absolutely destroying everything against righties here. Ton of green. Same thing with Acuna, batting 342 against righties. As long as he's in the game. Ozzie Albies is a little bit, lower on the tier here. But you're expecting at least 2+ at-bats against Falter before, he falters. Thank you. And then they come into the bullpen. So looking at that, the Braves are probably my number one stack overall on the day, let alone the early slate here. So out of these 3 games, I'm probably looking at the pitching's what's going to, I'm a little bit concerned of. But we're going to look at it all. And probably wouldn't use Hunter Brown. Probably not using Dean Kramer. Not using Bailey Falter. Maybe use Bryce Elder a little bit. Maybe. Not saying a ton. But if you want a little bit of exposure, Bryce Elder against the Pirates. I know they've been good, but they're still a bad team. Overall, I would not mind a little bit of Elder, especially since it is going to be a tournament day only for me. But yeah, 100% all in on the Braves as a team stack overall, and then I do like these 2 teams as well. Then that brings us to the Blue Jays at the Guardians. You got Alek Manoah versus Noah Syndergaard. Really don't know what we're going to get out of either of these pitchers. Oh, Alec. I spelled Alex, didn't I? Oh. I was wrong. As you can see, anytime any of you donate money or use the ads or buy a subscription, I'm trying to get a better computer because this thing is super slow. Would love to get a camera back up. Would love to get a lot of things back up. Hopefully we're able to in the near future, especially for NFL. But looking at Manoah, we know his story. He was really good last year, came down. This year just terrible, got sent down, came back up. So overall, 3-3 record on the road, 3.94 ERA, only 42 strikeouts. So looking at game logs here, you can see against the Boston Red Sox in Fenway, which is not usually a place that I like to I don't like to take a pitcher in Boston, but it worked out. I was wrong in this one. 6.2 innings, 3 earned runs, 2 home runs, 2 walks, and 5 Ks there. Then you can see against the Angels, 4.1 innings, 1 earned run, 5.1 here against Seattle. Came back, or San Diego, 3 innings, 4 earned runs. Came back with a vengeance here after about a month being sent down against Detroit. So he's been good in the past. Splits-wise, we can kind of look how he is home versus away. Home, 8.15 ERA, very, very bad. 0-5 record. Way better on the road. Now he's facing a Cleveland team that he's only faced 14 plate appearances, 250 batting average, so not much going on there. He's the one he's the wild card. I would love him even more if Jose Ramirez is actually out and suspension is upheld for like 3 games or whatever it is. But we will look into the numbers as well. So we're going to look at Noah Syndergaard here. Since getting traded, we know he's not Thor from the Mets. He's way past that prime. 1-5 record overall, 6.75 ERA. On the road, at home he's 1-3. Now, we've said this in the past. We said it yesterday. Any video we say it. He's technically pitching at home, but he's only pitched in this ballpark 1 time for himself as his home ballpark. So in a way, it's kind of like his away park because he still hasn't pitched very much here in this ballpark since he's pitched 1 time against the White Sox. Last game was on Saturday, 6 innings, 5 earned runs, 4 home runs. Gave up 4 home runs in this ballpark to the White Sox. Now he's facing a Blue Jays team. The thing is, this is interesting, the Blue Jays are striking out a ton against right-handed pitching since Bo Bichette's out. Whether or not that comes into effect here, we can kind of see three strikeout game there, 0s out of there. They had 3 strikeouts in this game, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. The problem is he's had, against the Cubs back in April, 1 9 strikeout game, and that was it. Overall, 41 total strikeouts is not enough. If there was a game where he could strike out some batters, the Blue Jays are struggling against righties. Now, again, it's a tournament only because it's 4 games. Might look into that. Really just depends on what you can expect out of him. So, looking at this, I don't mind Syndergaard for tournaments just because the Blue Jays are striking out against righties quite a bit lately. Not overall. We will dig into those numbers. So, let's take a look at both the Blue Jays and the Guardians against right-handed pitching and see who might make your lineup when you're building those lineups. So, Andres Gimenez against a righty, 232. Not much green here at all. The only green in this really is plate appearances. Vlad looking kind of not the best here against righties. He's kind of struggling this season too, so that's something to look at. Rosario's no longer on the team. Bo Bichette's hurt. Jose obviously would make a fantastic option if he's in. 324 batting average, 406 OBP. It just depends if he's going to be suspended or not. I haven't seen any news yet, so we can kind of see. Let me check real quick just to see real fast. Yeah, so far they haven't decided if he's going to be suspended or not. I would assume it would come down either today or Friday. So if he's in, I absolutely love his numbers. Ton of green out of Ramirez. Probably not looking at Kirk. Naylor's on the IL. Wouldn't look at Miles Straw. Maybe a little bit of Brandon Belt for tournaments. Josh Bell's no longer on the team. Kiermaier wouldn't look at. Whit Merrifield has been really good against righties, 297. Batting average, 347. OBP, 419. Slugging, 766. OPS, I don't mind him. Danny Jansen's been on fire for us when we've used him. 240 batting average. I mean, there's not a ton of good numbers for Danny Jansen, but I wouldn't mind him. I'd be looking at Matt Chapman for Toronto. And then probably Stephen Kwan here. Batting 269, 343 OBP, 378. Slugging. His isolated power, though, is down. So you're not really looking for power out of him. You're just looking for base to base, station to station to get those extra fantasy points. So there you go. I don't mind either of these pitchers. Again, it's a tournament-only day. So I would love Manoah a little bit more if Jose Ramirez is suspended. But if not, might lean a little bit more towards Syndergaard against the Blue Jays, who have struggled against righties lately. But Noah Syndergaard has not been decent this year. It's been a couple of years since he's really been effective. Very injury-riddled seasons that have really just zapped everything. And he's not getting a ton of strikeouts each game this year. If he does, it could be against the Blue Jays who are striking out, but it is obviously not a guarantee. Then we got the last game, or we got another game here at 1:10 Eastern. You got Kenta Maeda versus Reese Olson. Let's take a look. As you can see, he's going to be pitching on the road against the Tigers. He's faced 79 current Tigers at-bats or plate appearances, 257 batting average, and out of those 79, 36.7 K percentage, which I don't mind. And then Reese Olson only faced 14 Minnesota bats, 154 batting average there. So Maeda, overall, kind of just see this year, game log-wise, let's see. Against Detroit, he did face them in this ballpark back on April 23rd. Went 5 innings in that game, 8 strikeouts, no earned runs, 2 walks, got the W. Was his first win of the year. Pretty good. Not bad at all. That was his first start back from the IL. Pretty good team to start against. Had success, especially in this ballpark. Looking at his splits. On the road, he is a better pitcher on the road. 7 games on the road. 2 more games on the road than at home, and he's got a better ERA. More innings pitched on the road, giving up less hits, less runs, less earned runs, same amount of home runs. Does walk a few more, so you'll get penalized with that on DraftKings, but has more strikeouts on the road. So Kenta Maeda might be my number 1 pitcher of this early going. It doesn't mean I love him. Doesn't mean I'm all over him. But he's got a good track record against this team. And barring anything, maybe on paper has one of the best matchups against a team that the Tigers are like second to last, I believe, in isolated power against right-handed pitching. I think against both pitching. They're a very bad offensive team. We know that they have put up runs against us in the past. But overall, over the entire season, Tigers are a team you want to target against normally with righties. Just not the best right now. And speaking of other targets and stuff like that, at the end of this video, we're going to show you the top 10 bats and the top 10 pitching after simulation. So we are partnering with AI Simulation to run with ballpark factors, weather, previous matchups, BVPs, blah, 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 stuff like that. With the proprietary information that we have with the AI, we simulate it 10,000 times during the day. During this video, we have simulated it 2,000 times already, and this is who it likes. Now, between now and usually about 4 p.m. in the afternoon, we update it to show the updated throughout the entire day, because weather will play a factor and other factors come in during the day. Lineups come out. It helps us do that. We will show you the top 10 batters and the top 10 pitchers for the first run through. If you want to see the other ones, they are on the website, FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, MLB DFS player projection. Now, this is part of the FTA Plus. So a ton of free information. These videos are a huge boost to everybody, but we do have a little bit more. So if we can't give you everything you need in these videos, go check out FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. Bringing you the bacon. Hopefully you bring some bacon with our information. So that being said, let's take a look at Reese Olson against the Twins. Sorry. We can see overall 4.94 ERA, 1-5 record, 50 strikeouts. He's 1-3 on the road, and yeah, it just depends. Coming off of not a good start against the Tampa Bay Rays, 5 innings, 4 earned runs, only 3 strikeouts there. Not getting a ton of strikeouts. Faced Minnesota back in June at home, 5.1 innings, 1 earned run, 9 strikeouts. Not bad. But again, you got to get creative. So if you want to go with the problem is he's not striking out a ton. That's the most amount of strikeouts he's had in an entire game, and then 8 the time before that, and then other than that, 5. Since then, 5 max, and more so 0, 2, 3, and 3. So really depending on what you're looking at. I don't know in this situation. Again, being a tournament type day, yeah, the pricing on these guys, both DraftKings and FanDuel, going to be pretty low, depending. So you could pay down for Reese Olson, pay up for somebody else, maybe this one right here for Maeda, and then if Vegas, got to kind of wait for Vegas numbers to come out. But we see this, if it's a low-scoring game, obviously you might be able to target the pitching there. You just hopefully got to get at least 5+ innings out of these guys. But we are going to look at both the Twins and the Tigers against right-handed pitching, and we'll see where we can go from there. Detroit Mini. And looking at this. Yeah, Miggy, his career, fantastic career. I'm just not using him in DFS. Does he hit 3 home runs today? Probably not. Can he? He could. And I could be wrong here, but I'm probably avoiding Miggy. Kerry Carpenter, 279 batting average against righties, 508 slugging, 839 OPS. These are really great peripherals. I'll have some exposure to him if I'm not taking pitching in this one. Donovan Solano against righties, 394 OBP, a really high OBP, 796 OPS, a little bit lower on the ISO power, but, we'll take what we can get. Riley Green's been one of the lone bright spots for this Detroit team. I'm all in on Riley Green, 296 average, 364 OBP. He's got a lot of green and yellow here compared to red and orange. That's what we're looking at when we're color coordinating this. Correa, he's been sort of slowly coming along. I don't mind him. Probably wouldn't be using Baez. He's just... Tell me, can you name another player that just fell off an absolute cliff outside of Chris Davis? Harder than Javi Baez and as fast as Javi Baez? I would love to know if you have any idea. Buxton's hurt per usual. Edouard Julien got a lot of green here. He would be an option if I'm not taking Reese and I'm looking at Minnesota. Detroit, Matt Vierling I could look at there. I believe Kirilloff is hurt, right? Let me see real quick. I wish these had designations for injuries and stuff like that. It would really make... It would really make it easy. Yeah, Kirilloff is injured, so he's out. Kepler, I don't mind a little bit of Kepler here. Matt Vierling, I don't know if I talked about him, but I don't mind him. And that's probably it. Maybe Willie Castro for a very contrarian lineup, but other than that, I'm probably not going anywhere else in this game. Offense-wise. So, again, both of these pitchers, I don't mind for tournaments, but I do like the bats a little bit more for Minnesota than I do with Detroit. Then we got a game that is, 5 hours later? We've got the Cardinals at Tampa Bay Rays. You got Liberatore versus Zach Little, or Littell. I'm not really sure. And we'll kind of look at these numbers. We're getting into the thick of it here with the last section of games here. Liberatore overall is a starter, 1-4 record, 6.93 ERA, 0-2 on the road, and 11.48 ERA on the road, 6 strikeouts. Game logs. We can kind of look at these game logs against Minnesota. 5.2 innings, 5 earned runs, 1 strikeout. Didn't have a strikeout against the Marlins. Went 0.1 innings, 4 earned runs. Against the Yankees, 4.1 innings, 3 earned runs, 1 strikeout. And this is a team that strikes out. Against the Cubs, I believe this was it. Yeah, this one was in London. 2.1 innings. So he's not going deep into games. I am all out on Liberatore. I'm all in on Tampa Bay. Now, I'm not taking Littell or Little. Let's see. Is it a K or an H? It's a K. I believe he's also, if I recall, he's a relief pitcher that comes in and opens the games, right? He doesn't go very deep into games. Well, he went 6 innings his last start. It was against Detroit. 6 innings, 1 strikeout. So I'm not much there. No earned runs, only 1 walk. against Houston 5 innings. So he's been a starter for 2 starts here, and he's gone 5 innings at least. But again, I'm probably avoiding both of these pitchers. I would rather look at the bats. Specifically, I'd rather look at Tampa Bay bats against Liberatore, but we'll dig in. We'll look at it. So let's take a look at Tampa Bay bats against lefties, which I already know I'm going to be sad about, and you'll see. Paredes, I don't mind. Honestly, a full Tampa Bay stack, I'm all in on. Jose Siri, I don't mind there. A Rosarena against the lefty, I really like. Probably avoid Margot, but maybe put him in there. Yandy Diaz, of course, I believe I tell you this every time, but I take him every single time to hit a home run when he has a good matchup, and he screws me over and takes the home run elsewhere, either the day after or a couple of days after. But he's got good numbers, peripheral numbers against lefties. You could be looking at him. Harold Ramirez batting .386 against lefties. I mean, he's got a ton of green there. And then Wander Franco here, 9% K, a very low K rate against righties. Switch hitter, .316 batting average, .389 OBP, .506 slugging, .895 OPS, and a .190 isolated power. So I'm out on Liberatore. Maybe you could throw Littell in there just because, hopefully he goes 5 or 6 innings, and the Cardinals have been bad this year. But I'd rather focus on Tampa Bay offense than taking their pitching. Then you got the Nationals at the Phillies. You got Patrick Corbin versus Aaron Nola. So Aaron Nola, there's a reason I want to say he's the only stud on the slate pitching-wise. Believe so. Yeah. Looking at that, that's why he's the picture of the video and article. I do like Aaron Nola in this situation, but we are going to dig into the numbers. We're going to look. Washington's actually been keeping pace with Philly in this series, and it's kind of crazy. But we'll look into the numbers there. So you got Patrick Corbin, and if you've been with us before, if you've been with us this year at all, he's been so up and down. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. So we look at this. Overall, Patrick Corbin, 4-4 record on the road, 5.31 ERA, 47 strikeouts. He's got a 5.03 ERA combined. Game logs, I don't believe. Overall, he's faced Philly 146 plate appearances. They're batting .344 against him, 21.2 K percentage, where Aaron Nola is 67 plate appearances, 242. Patrick Corbin, he's had some good games, and then he's had some bad games. Against Cincy, didn't want to take him. 6.1 innings, 3 earned runs, only 2 strikeouts. Problem is, he's not striking out a ton of people. That's the big deal. Hasn't faced Philly. Has he faced them this year? No. He hasn't faced Philly this year, which is kind of crazy. It's really late in the year. I just don't trust him. We can look at BVP. I know a lot of people don't like BVP, but this is one where you can think about it because 141 at-bats, a ton of plate appearances. He's given up 45 hits. Overall, as a team, .319 batting average. Alec Boehm has 2 home runs against him. Real Muto has 2 home runs against him, batting .344. Boehm batting .350. Schwarber, 2 home runs, 5 for 14 with 2 home runs, .357 batting average. Schwarber's just really good against lefties. Bryson Stott, I would kind of look at a little bit, batting .574 for 7, so that's not much. But you can see they've hit pretty hard. Sosa and Stott both have triples against him. He's given up 9 doubles, so those extra base hits. I'm all in on Philly's stack here. I don't think that should be a surprise. But we can look at Philadelphia against Tampa, or against. It's pretty much going to be the ones I just talked about. Yeah, Schwarber, really good. Overall, 183 batting average against lefties, but he hits Patrick Corbin very well. Alec Boehm batting .340 against lefties. Castellanos, .308. He wasn't even on there, I don't think. We could look at him at .308 against lefties. So I'm definitely in for stacking the Phillies bats here. And then Aaron Nola, I'm all in on Aaron Nola here. So we can look at this. .375 ERA at home, 63 strikeouts. Last 7 days, you can see game log wise, I believe we used him in his last start against the Royals, which should have been a good start for him. 5.1 innings, 5 earned runs. He did have 8 strikeouts. He did stick it out. But yeah, not the fantasy points we needed out of him for the price that we paid for him. But now he has a better matchup. Hasn't faced Washington this year. But I still love me some Aaron Nola. I'm not even going to look at the bats. Well, I guess we can look at the bats if you guys want to. If, for whatever reason, you're crazy and you're not taking Aaron Nola and you want to look at the Washington bats because you want to be contrarian, Lane Thomas would be one. He's batting 256. He's always hitting home runs that we've seen. C.J. Abrams, 286 against righties. Garcia, 260 batting average. Meneses, 281. That'd be the ones I'd use. Maybe Ruiz as well a little bit. But other than that, I'm definitely all in on Aaron Nola, stacking the Phillies against Patrick Corbin. Then you got the Royals at the Red Sox. You got Alec Marsh versus James Paxton. I really want nothing to do with Marsh, but we will look at this. We'll look at Marsh against, he's 0-5 on the year, 6.7 ERA, 0-3 on the road, 7.41 ERA. Yeah, I'm definitely looking at the Boston bats here. So we'll definitely look at this. So for sure, I'm off of Marsh, and I don't mind James Paxton at home a little bit. I will take James Paxton against the Kansas City Royals, and I will look at the Red Sox bats. So let's look at the Boston bats against righties. So if we are taking one, Jarren Duran's been on fire for us, 307 batting average. I would use him. I would use Tristan Casas. I would use Verdugo. I would use Yoshida. Yeah, I'm pretty much stacking this lineup. I'll look at Devers, Turner, Yoshida, Verdugo, Casas, Duran, maybe a little bit of Trevor Story if he's on the cheaper side since coming back from the IL. Just depends if he starts. I think they'll probably ease him back in, so he might not play this game. So I'm all off of Marsh. I'm looking at a Boston stack, and I'm looking at James Paxton against Kansas City. I would absolutely love James Paxton even more if this was in Kansas City, but we can't get what we want. Then the final game, the Rockies at the Dodgers, Ty Block versus to be announced. I'm not looking at Block. I'm looking at all of the Dodgers righties, all of the Dodgers bats. So let's take a look at the Dodgers bats against left-handed pitching. Freddie Freeman against lefties, 348 batting average. Absolutely killing it. Green. You want to use Freddie Freeman as much as possible. Probably up there towards winning the NL MVP. I know there's betting, so it's like minus 2,000 for Ronald Acuna to win the MVP, and then if you take anybody else, it's like plus money, it's really, really good odds against plus money. So Freeman, he's given a run for his money. I wouldn't be surprised if he has a really good finish the August and September. He could overtake this MVP, but his numbers are fantastic there. Chris Taylor, if he gets a start, I don't mind. Probably avoid Trace Thompson. Probably avoid Outman. Probably avoid Max Muncy. He's batting 117 against lefties. I wouldn't use Rojas. I would use Will Smith. Batting 266, 385 OBP, 557 slugging, 942 OPS, 291 isolated power. That's a lot of green out of him. JD Martinez is probably out. He's getting looked at. He's got some nagging injuries. Wouldn't use Vargas. And I'd use Mookie Betts. So if I'm stacking here, probably using Betts, Freeman, Will Smith, maybe Kike Hernandez against a lefty. Since coming back, he's been pretty decent for the Dodgers. And there you have it, guys. Can't really look at the Rockies bats. I guess we could look at the Rockies bats against lefties and righties just to kind of give you who might be pitching. So it'll at least give you an idea of what you can look at. So Rockies bats against righties. Gone, hurt. Brent Doyle hasn't done much. Grichuk's gone. Diaz batting 293 against righties. I don't mind. Ryan McMahon, I don't mind. Jurickson Profar, we used him yesterday. He had a home run for us. I don't mind him. Tovar, I don't mind either. And then lefties, if they've had success. Diaz against lefties, 207. Hurt. Gone. No. Nolan Jones, I don't mind Nolan Jones at all. He's been pretty good. I think he had a home run yesterday. I can't remember. I know he was in on the scoring, though. Gone. Profar, I don't mind. Tovar, I don't mind. So those would be what I'd look at. Depending on who the pitcher is, then that kind of will help us out. So there you have it, everybody. That is the breakdown. We've gone through all of the pitching, all of the hitting that we like, this is kind of what I wanted to show you, prop bets. So this is on the website, part of the FTA Plus, but we've got prop bets, our projections, Fanduel or DraftKings. If you sign up using our Fanduel link or DraftKings link and you deposit money in there, they're going to match your deposit, and we're going to give you a free month of FTA Plus on top of it. So we have those. Then we have the pitching props, the pitchers, all of this stuff, projections, what the best bet might be. And then you get down to favorite bets. So these are ones that I really like. Going through, give you options for hitting bets, just 1+ hits, give you those options there. Home run bets. Votto did not come through yesterday. Brian De La Cruz came through us. He had his odds were plus 450. They're not all going to hit, obviously, but we've gone through the numbers. We've looked at the ballpark rankings. We've looked at the weather. We've looked at the odds on both FanDuel and DraftKings, and these are the ones that pop out to us the most. So hopefully that helps you out. And again, if you guys have questions, let us know. But we are going to go over so just looking at the ballpark rankings in this one. For humidity and the ball to fly out of the ballparks, the ones to target so far with the weather, as of now, Citizens Bank Park, so both Washington and Philly, so really love me a Philly stack against Corbin. Toronto at Cleveland, so depending on what pitcher you take, go on that side. And then the wind currently is blowing out to Dodger Stadium around game time. That gives a boost to home runs as well. So we are going to go over the top 10 bats that we like on this slate. So get a paper and pen, and let's get going. So number 1, got Kyle Schwarber against Patrick Corbin. Number 2 is Jarren Duran versus Alec Marsh. Number 3 is Whit Merrifield versus Noah Syndergaard. Number 4 is Ronald Acuna versus Bailey Falter. Number 5 is Brandon Belt versus Syndergaard. 6, Kyle Tucker versus Dean Kramer. And then the algorithm really loves Philly bats. It's got 5 in the top 10. Alec Boehm against Corbin, Bryce Harper against Corbin, Castellanos against Corbin. And then we got Matt Olson versus Bailey Falter, and Bryson Stott versus Patrick Corbin. So these will change. If you want to see them, with our projected FanDuel and DraftKings points along with their stats and the other simulations. Go check out FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, MLB tab, DFS player projections are right there. And then the pitching on the slate now will change because it's not the best, but as of now, the simulations are showing number 1 pitcher is Aaron Nola against Washington. Number 2 is James Paxton versus the Royals. Number 3 is Kenta Maeda versus the Tigers. Number 4 is Reese Olson versus the Twins. So you can see, as of right now, it's thinking it's going to be a low-scoring game with all the factors in there. So we could use both of those pitchers. Hunter Brown versus the Orioles. Alek Manoah versus the Guardians. Dean Kramer versus the Houston Astros. It's got Zach Littell versus the Cardinals. Bryce Elder versus Pittsburgh. And then Alec Marsh versus Boston, which I would not use. But again, we don't have a ton of great pitching options on this slate. So I'm still focused on probably Nola, Paxton, Maeda, Reese Olson, maybe a little bit of Manoah, especially if Jose Ramirez is out. That's pretty much it. So those are the breakdowns of all of the pitching on the slate. Those are the breakdowns of the bats that we like on the slate. Those are the breakdowns of what our simulations have done through 2,000 simulations. Again, about 4 p.m. Central, we will throw out the 10,000 simulations and then put that on the website right here under player projections. So that's what I've got in this video. If you found it helpful, hit that like button. Let's try for 150. I think we can get it today. I think someone's going to win a lifetime pass today. And we'll be back tomorrow. So have a fantastic Thursday. Good luck on all of your sports betting and DFS needs. If you need a little bit more, go to FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. And as always, let's bring home some bacon, guys. Peace!